really hot before he fell asleep. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay. We can dang him. Dang it, the moon's not low enough. Oh, but that is so cool. Okay, so there's the moon. Dang it, it's right behind me. I don't need it behind me. Mm. This here. Rock and roll. Okay, so time to get that moon a little lower. Oh, well, hello, hello. If you notice a crunching sound, that is peanut butter M&Ms. Wait a minute. I was sitting there talking, and the microphone was like on top of my head. That was fun. And if there is a crunching noise that you hear, it's peanut butter M&Ms because they're like crack. Okie dokie, and that's an awesome screenshot. That's not disturbing at all. Besides, it's a little hard to just chew through bone like that unless I got super strong jaws, in which case I ought to find a use for that. Yep. I totally forgot that you can actually make your mounts do this. I didn't forget that you could do this. I forgot which button it was. But yeah, so while you're mounted, you have two attacks that you can use with the mount. You can have your light attack, which is this one. They rear up with the front legs. And then you've got the heavy attack, which is when they spin around with the back legs, like this. Alright, so we're going to go find this fellow from last night who's being hunted by the Shadow Karja. And that mysterious woman wants me to go rescue his life.
Just like Vanasha said. Let's see if Upit came through here.
Man, though, love the trees there, actually. Dang it. I want to get, like, right there. Oh, my field of view is a lot tighter when the bow is out, which is kind of weird. Alrighty, and down. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Yeah. The bow keeps like crossing over in front of her face. There we go. That's better. Bow drawn. Dead trees. Moon in the background. That's another good one. Alrighty.
Going down fast.
That's the idea. Where the heck am I supposed to go? Come on, map. Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to scan for something.
These tracks lead up that rise. Must be the green climb.
There we go.
Foot tracks stop here. Time to climb.
Alrighty. go. That didn't work. Jeez. Alright. I'm so very glad that I have my super suit on. Yeah, it looks like I should be able to jump over there. There's a rappel point up there. Alright. Alright, so that's a ledge that I can get to. There's a ledge over there. There's more stuff there, there. I should have made that jump. Oh, I get that. I don't think this is where I'm supposed to go. I suppose that's one way to get there. Come on, get up on that. This is weird. Come on, dang it. I think I took an extreme shortcut there. I swear, sometimes it's really hard to pick out where you're supposed to jump to. Definitely gonna do a cauldron tonight.
All right, made it. Where did you go, Uthid? Food scraps. I'll bet Uthid stopped to see if he was being followed. He must have kept going. I've got to catch up. A dead machine. Uthid's been hunting. Everything useful has been stripped. Uthid's been gathering components, probably for ammo.
Great. These
Dogs scavenge.
Wow, that was cool. Ah, I missed. Hey, you shag off. Come here. Yeah, that's right. Come at me again. There you go. Got one. Down here and fight. Alright, you want some too. Alright, I get you. No, not like that though. Sit still for a second. There we go. Get over there, get over, get over, get over. Suck.
Uthed took down a Ravager. Not an easy kill, but worth it for the parts.
Very nice.
Dead Watchers.
Watcher.
More scrap for Uthed's stockpile.
This guy knows how to handle himself. He's getting into some remote spots here.
The next one doesn't miss.
Uthed?
You're young for a bounty hunter. Or am I old for a soldier?
I'm not here for the price on your head, Uthed. I believe you're innocent.
Innocent? Come on, then. If this is a trick, it's a good one. You've earned your kill.
No tricks. Just talk.
All right. Speak.
I want to know what happened at Sunfall. What really happened.
All right. For weeks, each dawn in the tent city came with a new death. Always in their sleep, no struggle. The old, the infirm, sometimes the young. Those who couldn't fight for the cause. I should have realized then it was a culling.
Who would do such a thing?
They thought it was a curse, an evil spirit. But it was only a man. And a silent poison. It took time to catch him, but we did. We brought him before Bahavas for the sun's judgment.
The High Priest Bahavas? He's the one who put the bounty on you.
Yes. He thanked me for my diligence, then had his guards release the villain. You see? It was he who ordered the culling. Then they turned on us. Should have died with my men, so their loyalty meant something. 20 years I gave to the sun. For what? Malice and murder? As for honor, sacrifice, true sacrifice, the kind priests and rulers know nothing of, it's all a fat joke.
If it's honor you seek, the Sun Karjas seem trustworthy. A little stuck up, maybe, but trustworthy.
Those Karja once raided your Nora lands. Raided every land we could reach. It was the Sun's will. I did what I was told. Others did worse. But as their captain, I had...
Uthid, I don't care what you did. I can't absolve you. But the Karja are changing their ways. You could too.
Perhaps. Avad doesn't understand what the Sun demands of its soldiers.
Perhaps he understands it too well.
Now you sound like the blameless Murad.
I like how his armor is kind of reminiscent of samurai.
I can believe you're a good man. But why go with the Shadow Karja in the first place? Why serve them?
Because of Itaman, of course. He was the one true Sun King.
Itaman's just a child.
Yes, an untainted vessel. I believed he was pure. But they used him. Used our faith. I can see that now. No shadows under a noonday sun. Bahavas didn't need to disgrace my name. I did it myself, serving a rotten throne.
I met someone who wants to get you out of this. A woman named Vanasha. But first, we need to get you out of here.
What are you? You look like a hunter. You give orders like a soldier who's been out... Mercenaries. Think they'll all line up to tell me I'm innocent?
Should have stayed on the plains, Karja! The mountains belong to us! Keycook's killers! When we're done with you, you won't even leave an echo!
You didn't make it hard to be followed. Almost as if you wanted to go out in a showdown.
Not much gets by you.
Is that... yeah, trouble.
Ah, you moved. Oh, on the run! That was awesome. Yeah, I like a good name. Panache is actually a pretty good name. Are you kidding me? You ducked, and I missed my dang shot. Oh, no wonder it's not. Alright, now you're pissing me off. Dude, seriously.
This one's yours.
Got you now! Move in! We'll send the rest as soon as they arrive!
Come on, y'all just sit still for a split second.
Into the fray!
Where are you?
For the faithful! Victory! Got all I need to finish you off.
Headshot. Headshot, headshot.
We'll down them swiftly. That won't be the last of them. Follow me. I've stashed supplies up above.
Oh, wait.
Up and over. Grab what you can while we still have time.
Getting soaked from melted snow.
A robust defense is the most satisfying to break. All right, Marvels. We brought the priest out here, so let's put on a show for him.
I know that, Hood. We've unfinished business, Bahavas and I. This will be difficult. I think you rallied to a lost cause.
I don't intend to die today, Euthyd.
I did. But you're starting to change my mind.
Are you kidding me? Come on. Take an arrow to the... Oh. Helps if I use the right.
Lastly,
Helps if I use the right doggone arrow. Oh, we gonna go up close and personal on.
To your left, but my marbles rise.
Oh wait, you're a good guy.
Step
Never
it up,
mind. I'm
boys.
trying to kill the wrong person there.
Make it hurt. Oh.
My spear's better than yours. Ouch.
push in. We're getting picked off.
That's because I'm better than you. Ouch. Boom! There we go. Alrighty.
For the honor of the Karja! For my honor!
Come on, you ding dong. Show your face.
That's the last of the Marvels.
Bahavas thought he had enough fodder to keep him safe. Now there's hope for justice. Will you come with me?
Well, heck yeah. I'm not gonna not finish this.
This won't be easy. Bahava still has his personal guard.
Dang, bro. Running fast, ain't you?
Across there and we'll have him.
I had to come here myself to end your suffering, Uthid, and mine. The Outlanders led us here, and now that they are dead, their price is most affordable. But enough with needles. It's time for blades. Remove them from the sun's sight.
Stay on the move.
Oh, you bet I will.
The sun sets on your pathetic life, Uthid.
For sure.
Kill the traitor! Kill Lenora!
There we go.
Make it hurt as the shadow falls upon them.
Alrighty. You want to play? You can play. How about I freeze you and... Oh, you look chilly. Should warm you up.
Up to his perch.
Whatever deal you worked out with him, I'll double it. More than double it.
No. I'm tired of this, Bahavas. The lies and the violence in your cheap scented oils. I don't suppose you'd kill yourself.
I had to. I had to. Prune the weak, or all the Karja in Shadow are doomed.
This solves nothing. But may the sun find some worth among your drying bones.
Bye.
That was quite a fireworks show.
You took your time?
I was busy. What do you think happened to Yan Shund, the other mercenary band? And I had to organize passage to Meridian for a wanted man. Give us a moment, Uthid. Girl talk. You've had quite a day. I never imagined Bahavas would blunder into his own trap. His death opens up wonderful possibilities. Remember Edaman and Nasadi, the Child King and his mother guarded like hostages at sunfall? With Bahavas gone, no one will be watching them. I want to get them out. And I could use your help.
Kidnapping the Sun King of the Shadow Karja is no small task.
It's not kidnapping. They want to go to Meridian, to safety.
How do you know that?
I've been posing as Nasadi's handmaiden. She's scared. For herself, of course, but mostly for Edaman.
Why do you care what happens to them?
Edaman is the Shadow Karja's figurehead. If he defects, it will remove their last trace of legitimacy. Beyond that, he's just a boy who clings to his mommy. He made a little grazer for me out of matchsticks once. It wasn't very good, but still, nobody ever made anything for me before.
What's going to happen to Uthid now?
Don't worry. You gave him a second life, and I'll put it to good use. He'll be welcomed in Meridian as a military advisor. Hopefully he can help Avad finish the Shadow Karja with as little bloodshed as possible.
What's going to happen at Sunfall now that Bahavas is dead?
Oh, it will be glorious. The priests will panic. There'll be infighting, skullduggery, and backstabbing as they wrangle for power. Best of all, they'll be distracted. Bahavas, your life brought misery, but your death is a flower that blooms in abundance.
I don't think I noticed the teeth.
What do you need to get Nasadi and Idaman out of Sunfall?
With Bahavas dead, Sunfall is the easy part. I'll handle that. The big fuss will be crossing the border to the Sundom. Find my friend, 3 Tohuadiv near the Branded Shore. I hired his crew to sweep the path, so all you have to do is wait for me.
If this Wadiv has already cleared the area, why do you need me?
Contingencies, little huntress. Something will go wrong, and I need protection I can count on. You.
I'll try not to disappoint.
But yeah, I mean, this is just like...
The Nora said you would help me.
Hang on.
Are we bound for Meridian?
Only if you want to go, my dear.
What choice do I have?
None at all. I was just being polite.
What makes you think Avad will welcome me after I served his enemies?
He's a forgiving man. Just smile a lot. You can't smile, can you?
Oh, wait a minute.
No,
Back.
that's...
Which way? Wow. So yeah, there's... That's Sunfall over there, and we managed to get all the way over up into here. So, all the way down, and back and around. We gotta go meet that fella. Down there. So we'll just go over here. But yeah, this is like another reason that I really enjoy this game. This is supposed to be just a little side mission, and we are essentially completely overthrowing the Shadow Karja. And we took out their main priest, who was essentially the one who was manipulating everything. And, you know, this kid and his mother are going to be going back to Meridian because they want to, because they feel oppressed and they're being used to basically breed a civil war within the Karja. And I mean, it's a lot of detail that they put into this, you know, little side story thread that you wouldn't really catch unless you do this side mission. If you're just sticking to the main stuff, I mean, you miss like all of this detail. So I just, it's awesome. And well, there he goes. Where's the controller? Alright, where are we going? That direction. Go down this road. Don't. I ain't got time for this mess. Shards. A lot of dead bodies around here. Ah, bingo. If I have to listen to that rancid "Do Your Part for Zero Dawn" song one more time, I swear I'm gonna stab out my eardrums before the melody can fester in my ear canals. It is not inspiring. It is not stirring. It is dreck that makes me want to kill myself before the robots even get a chance. Good Lord. I would literally give my life right now to kill the asshole who composed that thing. Ugh. Can't this apocalypse at least have a decent soundtrack? Wow. Okay. Imminent death approaching. You're going to complain about the song that they came up with. Perspective, folks. I guess it would get annoying after a while. Meat, meat, meat. I don't need meat. Uh-oh, what? What? Oh. Gotcha.
You're Three-Toe Huadiv, right? Vanasha sent me. What happened?
I got hornswoggled, that's what. Vanasha batted her lashes, wiggled her hips, and promised us treasure. Clear a path for the royals, she said. Sneak past the garrison and skewer a few watches. Hardly a bother. Little did we know there was a damned monstrosity lurking underground. When will I learn not to gawk at skinny girls?
Why do you think Vanasha swindled you?
My crew came to Sunfall because we heard the bounties were fat. She offered us the fattest one of all, enough to retire on. It's my own damned fault for taking the bait. Should have known I'd end up with a rupture in my useful parts.
So Vanasha needed safe passage for Nasadi and Idaman, but it didn't work out?
She made it sound so sweet and easy. Find the best path to the lake, make sure it's safe. What could go wrong? Turns out, a lot. Like bloody murder in the grinding jaws of a heinous death beast.
What? What?
Something attacked you from underground.
Oh, you picked that up, did you?
Okay.
I wondered why the Shadow Kaja didn't pay attention to the pass. Well, they don't need to. A rock-eating demon guards it for them. It tunnels in the dirt, breaks through the earth, and blasts rocks from its stinking face. I barely escaped. My comrades weren't so lucky. I might shed a tear if they weren't all cutthroats and cheaters.
Vanasha will be here soon with Nasadi and Idaman. I've got to destroy that thing in the pass before they arrive.
Oh,
You're not too
yeah.
bright, are you? Well, we didn't last long against it, but I'll tell you what I know. It has armor everywhere, a little less at the rear. And when it goes underground, it will lose track of you if you're quiet. You might even be able to keep it from going under altogether if you hit its big crooked arms hard enough. That's all I can offer, friend. I promise to look solemn at your funeral before I hit the bar.
Yeah, something about... Yeah, I kind of remember that. So yeah, it's a rock breaker. I gotta move. Ow! You jag off. Don't jump onto it, girl. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Something like that. Oh, crap. Ow! You jerk. Yeah. Boom! Ouch! I kind of hurt myself with that one. Why did I jump onto it? Where'd you go? Yeah!
Got too much already.
But yeah, so that is its mouth. And these kinds of plates, and you see these teeth coming off of it. These you can actually see on very large machines that are used to crush rock and to drill and things like that. A big industrial machinery that is used in mining. Yeah, it's kind of glitching a little bit. Quit that. And it's got 3 of them on its face right there. And I think those count as its eyes. Yep, it's still a video game. It's like, oh my god, it's having a spasm there. Stop it. dance of death. Okay, so I did what you and your entire crew could not. Are you ready to go?
Radiant sun, I can't believe it. I thought that evil rock chewer would grind you up.
You
After
don't know
that
me.
miracle, all we can do is wait. Vanasha will be here soon, along with a boat that'll take the royals across the lake.
Yes, he did.
Ah, little huntress. Glad you accepted my invitation to play bodyguard. Where are your men, Huadiv? It looks like something chewed you up and spat you out.
That's pretty much exactly what happened.
The way is clear. Can we go?
I like how you always cut to the chase. In this case, literally. It won't be long before we're followed.
She's got ridiculous abs.
Don't be afraid, Your Radiance. We've got excellent protection. Oh dear. Here come the Shadow Carja, and they're very angry with me.
I'll hold them off.
Very noble of you, but when I start a fuss, I like to finish it. Not that your assistant isn't welcome. Huadiv, get Itaman and his mother to the shore. Carefully.
Time to go pick a fight.
So it comes to this. I must say, after 2 years under the heel of these zealots, I'm ready to extract a little blood. Some traps would be nice.
Yeah, I know, I'm getting to it.
Shall we prepare a little surprise for them? Are you sure you don't have any traps, little huntress?
What do you think I'm doing?
Here they are. Let's make it work, shall we?
Come and get some.
Well, but I suspect we're not done. More of the bastards. Get ready.
Yeah, y'all can keep on coming. It ain't gonna work. Hey,
I worked up a bit of a sweat.
are you kidding me? Is that it?
I don't want to jinx it, but we might be in the clear.
That cannot possibly be all of it.
A bit late, aren't we, gentlemen?
Sorry, ma'am. The boat's waiting.
Damn, I spoke too soon.
This one's mine. Get to the boat.
You know, this time I think I might be out of my league. If anything happens to her, I will be very cross.
We're not going anywhere.
That is a corrupted Thunderjaw. get around that rock.
We've got it.
No turning back.
Yeah, let me shoot fireballs at it. That's a good idea. Piss it off. It doesn't look like a demon at all. Ooh, get up there. Get. Ah, crap. You want some more, big fella? Come and get it. Oh, jeez. I need to blast these suckers off of you. Well, not that. There's one. And a shot. Got the other one. Awesome.
This might even the odds.
Dang it, out of ammo. Gotcha. And that's how you take
That's
down a corrupted
convenient.
Thunderjaw. I'll take this. Check this back up.
Not exactly a royal barge, is it? Oh well, defectors can't be choosers. Let's get aboard, shall we?
Oh, boo-hoo! My boat is not fancy enough. Like, who cares? Just get to where you're going. I'm like, does it float?
You've done a good thing. Maybe even ended a war.
Maybe. But my war just keeps going.
for now.
Edaman, my brother, welcome home. You have nothing to fear. You are now under the protection of the Sundom. My protection. As is your mother, she will not be harmed. You have my word, the law of the sun. Aloy, it seems I see your influence everywhere. You've done so much for the Sundom, and it will always be appreciated. You have my thanks. May you walk in the light.
Interesting that he said his mother. He called him brother.
Appalling. I spent 2 years in the Forbidden West setting this up, and the redhead gets all the credit?
I'm still getting paid, right?
You'll be lucky if I let you live. I couldn't have done this without you. When we meet again, I'll give you a proper thanks. I promise.
But yeah, interesting that he called him his brother, but he didn't call her his mother. I mean, he said it was Edaman's mother, but he didn't call her mom. Yep, most likely. They never mention it explicitly. So, yeah, it's kind of... I mean, she's the only one that they ever really mention. Wow, been playing for an hour already. Alright, so it's 9:15. We did that. We could do... I suppose we could go in and do the story mission. There is definitely, because the way Silence was talking about it before you go in, it's almost like a point of no return. It's like once you go in, you have to finish the mission. Something like that. And if I recall, there's a lot of, I think there's a decent amount of exposition in this little chunk that's coming up next. That should be pretty good stuff. Oh, so I found out, unfortunately,
how do we expect to win a war?
That
our child's
oh,
son
I think, well, can I walk around here? Nope. I gotta go up those stairs. But I found out that the memory card that I got for my camera is apparently not compatible with my camera. So I'm gonna have to return that tomorrow, and, or maybe not tomorrow, but at least figure out what kind of card is compatible with my camera, and then return it and see if I can't get something.
Tread lightly, Outlander.
I'll come back later. That woman said to meet her at a green tent down in the camp. Might be worth a visit.
Seriously? I'm about to go in here and you're telling me to do all of that. I just did that stuff. You know what? We're gonna do this. Jump down. Hoo-ah. Yeah, out of all of this, you got all of this Karja architecture and everything, and right there in their own backyard is this very obvious piece of dough crap. Jeez. Let's not fall to my death. How about that?
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure. As year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you'll have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Oh yeah.
Hold for identiscan. Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. 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 Malfunction.
Are you kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobek here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Emergency venting authorized.
I underestimated you. Too bad now
Guess you can't have everything.
That will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
Here we go. Another incident. What does this say? Okay, says from the lounge staff to administration. This morning's unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as the staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we have already requested, we need human translators, fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists, for example, and dermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and vases at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well-behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond. So apparently Dr. Popovich, who was Polish, flipped out, was screaming in Polish, hurling chairs and all kinds of other stuff.
Please take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
Not seeing anything immediate in here. Ah, there's one. More reading. Huzzah. That's brief. Alright, would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but the ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought.
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret superweapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a superweapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating. Waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day. The day that life on Earth ceases to exist is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
That doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
Yeah. So, I mean, just unbelievably catastrophic projections. I mean...
Kestrels. They got in. Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
Well said. Dadgummit. Dude, she sucks so hard.
We're too close to the tribal crypt to stop us now. The data points, what did they contain?
Don't worry, I'll get to it, you impatient little dingus. Okay.
It is accurate, yes. So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people, they feed off them? Not just people, all organic matter. Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel. In a word, yes. Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here? No, Doctor. Please, tell him Tom Pate wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Doctor, please! You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
Want to discuss? Whew. So Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bible serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations.
Revelations
now, I
is a
didn't
book,
always
not a
understand
chapter.
her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, there was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malky was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty, too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
Creeper.
You previously worked for Pharaoh Automated Systems.
On the Chariot Line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought About time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since...
Would you like to take a moment?
No. I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits. I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, U.S. Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Harris said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Reading. Alright, so it says for debriefing after presentation 1, so after the General Harris thing we just saw, candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly, but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm, Addendum B1, and unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, and undersea structures, so that you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so that the candidates can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crisis teams are data corrupted. Alright, here's another one.
Meeting with Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said, not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
You know, I gotta say, you're faster than I am, because I just now realized that when you said that. And it makes sense because of all of the robots having Egyptian names. Horus, Kopesh, Scarab. And it really makes sense once you get to know Ted a little more. Oh, that's the wall. Okie pokey. That's all that.
CV02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Elizabeth Sobek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
The whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes. By a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how'd it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the Archive of Knowledge, what happened to that?
I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
Yeah, so a lot to take in. I mean, just you're sitting here thinking the whole time that perhaps somebody managed to stop, you know, what was considered inevitable, and they weren't. I mean, they couldn't. And so the plan was basically build a contingency, a backup plan to basically start over. Okay, so this says, now you are in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. Number 1, participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and the project's outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week, and your communications with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. Indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You will be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh Plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released. Option 3, medical euthanasia. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you are ready to make your choice or if you have further questions. No pressure.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. It's just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom. I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be, atonement.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No. Life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygies. Like the Congo. Like Timo. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry?
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
See to make sure I behave this time?
Security. For your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. He's kind of blue skying. It's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What did you... You know... Get your hands off me!
Jeez. I mean, that's just, I can't imagine being in that situation where you find out what's really going on and how doomed everything and everyone is, and then you can't leave. And your options are to help, to just basically be a prisoner until the project is completed and then you die, or basically get euthanized.
Intruder! Get her!
Is that...
Whatever you do, don't die now.
Fine.
That one. Just being focused. My turn.
I don't need that. 84 shards. Very nice.
Zero Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Souvet? Christina Souvet?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair. Not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
And when you think about it, you know, the whole concept of essentially restarting all of civilization, all of creation, it's not just enough to preserve, you know, plants and animals and people and all of that and be able to reproduce them, but to bring culture with it and all of the burden that that entails.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural to be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
He seems like a charming fellow. Alright, so I can't go through that before.
Here we go. Another one of these. Need to find the right configuration.
Left, up, left, down, right.
Done. I should check the door nearby.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to...
Oops. Dang it. I stopped it. That wasn't supposed to happen. Diddly 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 diddly. Nexus
Hey,
problems. There we go.
I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Ah. So basically, she's telling you that this code here is backwards, which you can kind of tell by the logo being upside down. So instead of starting up here, you start down here, and it's not up, it's down. That's not right, it's left. But I'm actually missing one of the dials in there, so I have to go and find that and reinstall it in order to unlock that particular panel. Ladder. Crouching. Huh. Okay, well, there's just a bunch of regular stuff in there. This is all well and good. Ah, there it is.
Found one. Looks intact.
Yeah, we'll just jump down.
That should do the trick.
Alright, so it's gonna be down. Left. Up, so that one doesn't change. Up, right, and down.
That did it. Door should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Really? Get out the way. Ooh. Visitors.
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
I'm what? I couldn't hear you, bud. Ah, son of a...
Shadow, guide me!
Man, dude, you're a pincushion. I'm gonna take your stuff. Oh wait, there's more guys over there, and there, and there, and there, and there. Gravy.
Come out now.
Now why would I do that? Oops! Now wait, let's go for long range here. You guys are making this way too easy on me. Seriously, is that it? Just one more of you?
Or not.
Gravy. Oh, fabulous! We got Deathbringer guns. Isn't that special?
Stop dawdling and search!
Here, enjoy that. You can have all the big guns you want, bub, but my aim is better.
For a moment, anyway.
Get moving. You have to find Gaia.
Yeah. I'm gonna take all their crap. After all, I did earn it. 108 shards, heck yes.
Alert. Area inaccessible. Elevators non-operational. Stairwells have collapsed.
Oh, you're just full of good news, aren't you, bud? Alright. Let's see, Apollo 1. Poseidon 1. We came in through here. Text, data point, full steam ahead. From Elizabeth Sobek to Margot Shen, full steam ahead. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I would have picked you as the I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan, add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail: consult with Aomide Okilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus's first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. So any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. So they even had a plan to eventually develop and transmit deactivation codes for all of the Pharaoh robots. Something over there. Oh yeah, check that out. That looks like the little arms and stuff that are inside the cauldrons that ship containers and stuff, the like hover platforms or whatever. Alright, from Margot to Elizabeth. It says simulation results. It says, wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate, but I agree there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional. They feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind, as though she's already mourning their loss. And not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Margot. That would be correct. As we saw in the hologram when Elizabeth was actually talking about the whole concept of Zero Dawn, you kind of saw one of the grazers in the hologram. And that is essentially one of Gaia's functions, is that with the Hephaestus subroutine or whatever it is, that, of course, Hephaestus being the blacksmith of the gods, actually helps her fashion the robots to help recondition the planet. And that's where those robots come from.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical at places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, Hephaestus has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, the Thunderjaw. How could it do that? And why?
Why indeed?
So the plot thickens.
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
taking your stuff.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. More eclipse.
Careful now.
Jeez. Oh, fabulous. Man, just everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, it will not go through there. Okay.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
Okay. Alright, so this is from the woman who was just talking in the hologram to Elizabeth. She says, and the winner is encapsulated DNA. Over the past 10 days, I performed an exhaustive review of data storage solutions. Magnetic, optical, quantum, even that eternity tech that FAS was shilling a year or so ago. But every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings. Too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, too prone to failure past 300 to 400 years, etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabytes we're projecting for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which we'll embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate the power systems and sealed reliquaries that will keep the DNA at negative 18 degrees Celsius for 1,000+ years. So long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed propitious, that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life as the hero, beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much to do. Until next time, Samina. So yeah, basically they had to use DNA in order to preserve all of the knowledge that they were going to pass on to future generations, simply because there is way too much of it. And more reading. Alright, so same two people, Samina to Elizabeth. She says, over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive from Far Zenith has made itself known, and as a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the outset, with attendant curricula development about to begin. Speaking of the heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aspasia persona. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half of my professors had been so entertaining. So apparently they even had maybe not AIs, but personalities to assist with the actual passing on of the knowledge. Boss man's down.
Dead, but not long.
Oh, that's just funny.
No space.
Ouch!
They're still looking.
He's like right over there, but... See ya. There you are. There you are. Just trying to figure out how to get to this guy. Oh, there you are.
Let's make this quick.
Dang it. Come on back, Bubba. I won't hurt you. Promise.
That's the last of them. Alone once more.
In what should have been a cave of wonders. Look around. See if anything is left.
I'm not really picking up a whole lot of anything. Let's go back in this direction. Dang it. How the heck do I get over there? Ah, that's where I should have gone. Oh, so notice the little symbol there? Hello? Still with me? Didn't fall asleep, did you? Oh, there you go. Yep. Same as the, where that split on my screen, it says, hit the wrong butt. On sorry.
Welcome to Hades. Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol. The ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine your guy 200 years from now and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos. Spinning top that won't stop wobbling. And what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocating. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was like, this man needs some serious therapy. He's got problems out the wazoo. Okay, so this one is from Travis, the wonderful gentleman we just heard from, to Elizabeth, and it says, noise complaints. Color me confounded, Lizzie. Bashcore. Anyone who says the old TT codes to Bashcore. Oh wait, yeah. Anyone who says the old TT codes to Bashcore is straight up lying, and you know it. Old Trav don't have no truck with commercialized razzle-dazz. Nuh-uh. I just feel unintelligent reading this. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter of Ciderum runoff than listen to Grey Swarm for 30 seconds. Hand to God and swear on my mama's grave, and she was religious. Nah, that ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab, shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classical music, 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal themed stuff too. Serious issues. Stop by if you want to listen, or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no Bashcore, you'll see, or hear rather, in the screech that rends the air, and feel in the throbbing pulse of the floor and walls and ceiling swallowing you up like you was Jonah trapped in the gullet of gothic deathfish. Hallelujah. Or no, hallelujah. Again, I think I'm going to have to pray after reading this. As for those requests to turn it down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal, might as well give up stimulants, chocolate malts, and industrial accident vids. Last I heard, we was supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code an extinction protocol without death metal to inspire me? No, I don't think so. Oh, that was enough of that. Goodness. Major freakazoid. Alright, Hades protocol. Tate here, just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority. If that ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. too hard and it degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers. Sometimes her arms too. So that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business. So I had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wearer. Too soft, and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system and reverse operations, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly re-reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky. I swear, ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are plenty strong. Guess it's time to sleep and bed. I'll back to it tomorrow. Alligators. So apparently he took some sleeping pills, and they started to kick in as he was writing that message, which by the end it actually got kind of funny. Please be an audio one. Reading takes so long. Okay, this is from Samina to Travis. What, so I could just ramble on incoherently and make, just funny conversation? I can do that without pills. Anyways, Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo archive submissions, blah, 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 blah. Your 666th submission in just 5 days. And oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings... inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Let's see if I want to actually read all of this. Okay, so basically he was just uploading some really gross and obscene and disturbing stuff to, let's see, I think to the archives, something like that. Yeah, accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions, sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time you would have spent preparing further submissions on, I don't know, your assigned work. We have a world to save after all, or the rest of us do anyway. Yeah, so... freak.
Looks like the only way onwards.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No.
Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem, to say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
He's definitely French. Okay, so this is from the guy we just heard from, to Elizabeth. It says, the ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I've spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. They're a revelation. Astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Far Zenith in trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risks of ECMO resolved. Nutrition delivery resolved. Hormonal stability resolved. 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of FZ's technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident they can be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours, then get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. So they acquired these chambers that you see down here from one of the other major corporations in the world that apparently was already developing that kind of technology.
Are these what I think they are?
Artificial wombs. Machines to spawn a new generation of human beings.
So yeah, exactly what he just said. And more. From the same guy to Elizabeth, it says, development of the artificial persona for cradle servitors, nurturer, disciplinarian, healer continues at a good pace. We are targeting turning 0.4. No, wait, we are targeting Turing 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow load grade, empathy, and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of persona, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning our entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and healer persona. I have also attached the reports from an incident where a servitor running the mother persona intervened on a disciplinarian servitor's behavior. A parental argument, if you will. Amusing on first glance, perhaps, but deeply concerning. I have attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings in just that data corrupted. So yeah, they were apparently also developing personas to allow for these like caretakers, if you will, once the future humans are born. And here's another thing. Cradle sealed is the subject. It says Eleuthia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Xinjiang province could detect it. Ping back from crucial systems is good. For our maiden voyage, a success. Regards, my disputes with the betas over zygote collection. I think that's might be a typo in there. Of course, I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is margin for refinement in future cradle populations. In addition to personally overseeing completion of the Eleuthia O2 site inside Mount Namuli, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. Okay. Oh, goodness. This is definitely a long mission, but man, is there so much stuff that you discover.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted Alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
No, back the other way. There we go.
Would benefit from antilopene morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet,
I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good.
So yeah, the Gaia AI was actually sad that megafauna species had come extinct well before these events took place.
You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all things.
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistakes, I think you mean?
All I'm saying is, give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound. At this point, the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
Every time I see that guy, I want to punch him in the throat.
Can't carry more.
Nice. Okay, so this is from Elizabeth to all the alphas. So all of the respective department heads, if you will. She says, some terrible news, I'm afraid. Far Zenith has informed me that the Odyssey mission has failed. Last night, telemetry indicated a catastrophic antimatter containment failure as the drives spun up to depart the solar system. The ship, its crew, its cargo of zygotes and seeds, its alpha build of Apollo, all were lost. Zero Dawn is now the only hope for the continuation of the human species and earthly life. We must succeed. So they had attempted and planned to have a secondary alternative with a space-based mission to preserve the human race as well. So from Charles Ronson to Elizabeth, Artemis status. Says, it's coming along, Liz. I'm positive about it. If those words can still mean anything. Had my sleeves rolled up negotiating with frozen zoos for their samples. So many species trapped in ghoulish hologram dioramas, suspended in what-ifs. More than 14,000 that went extinct between 2000 and 2043. We started mapping out primary successions, selecting the pioneer organisms for a balanced and sustainable biosphere. Microorganisms and insects, rabbits and hawks, foxes and wolves, thousands more that will have to wait their turn until our new generation can be entrusted with the duty of restoring them, so they can return to a world that, this time, will understand the concept of conservation before it's too late. There's already been too many too lates. We lost a whole collection team during the swarm breakthrough in Myanmar. The samples we lost there, well, irreplaceable. But thanks to you, Liz, the circle of life will bend, not break. The Earth was a lifeless rock before, and someday it will be again. But not now, not like this, and not on our watch. So yeah, apparently, before, all of this stuff happened with Project Zero Dawn and everything, there was a large push towards conservation because there was a very large, basically they were just losing different species and stuff left and right. So a lot of stuff went extinct before they even got to this point. And that was just through them not stewarding the planet. Alright, let's go over to this thing.
a registry master file.
Intact?
Yeah. No signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother. Open it. Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth to me.
Who? Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine. But what kind of machine and why? Why were you created?
Eclipse.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
Still alive. Good. I have a more suitable death in mind for you, child.
Might not recognize him with the headdress on.
My entire life, I've always known one thing with prophetic certainty. That I was destined for glory as a great champion of the sun. Even when Jiran was murdered, even when Meridian fell, I never doubted my destiny. Until you came along. When I heard that you had survived, a doubt took root in my mind. As sure as the sun rises and falls each day, those I am bade to kill die. And yet I failed. How? Why? With each dig site you attacked, each loyal soldier you killed, this pestering doubt grew. It grew when High Priest Bahavas went missing. And when the true Sun King Itamen was snatched away. It not only grew, but multiplied. I kept thinking of the moment my knife pierced your throat. One twist, a simple tug of the blade, and you would have bled out. In slaughter, I am a practiced hand. So why hesitate? Why fail my destined purpose?
See that scar on your cheek? You didn't get to finish.
Yes. I remember. He fought well. For a savage.
His name was Rost, and he was a better man than you could ever hope to be.
The better man is the one who doesn't end up with his guts steaming on the ground. No. It wasn't him. I could have finished you before he attacked. But I didn't. This failing troubled my thoughts. Haunted every step. It was only when I captured you, down in that place, that I finally glimpsed the sun's design etched at length across the course of events. You were meant to survive that day on the mountain. Meant to interfere at dig sites and kill my men. Meant to eliminate High Priest Bahavas. Meant to snatch Itamen away. Conversely, I was meant to capture you. Here. So that you might die as a sacrificial offering to the sun. Everything as it was meant to be. Predestined and preordained.
dangerous idiot, but an idiot. All this talk of destiny and fate. I'm sure Hades speaks the same language, doesn't he? You're being played for a fool. Hades is an ancient machine, not the buried shadow of Karja myth. It doesn't care about Meridian. It wants to kill everything and everyone. And you are its dutiful slave.
I serve not the buried shadow, but the sun in shadow. All halves of nature joined to one cause. Shadow to sun, dark to light.
Do you really not hear how ridiculous that sounds? You've gone from serving an insane homicidal Sun King to an insane homicidal machine. You're moving down in the world, not up.
I'll remember those words as I watch your corpse burn. Whatever's left of it. You fail to grasp the point. As surely as you've been conquered, so has all doubt. And with certainty of belief comes unstoppable force.
Then open this cage and put your faith to the test. See if things work out like you expect.
The circle has closed. Every element is in its proper place, exactly where it belongs. The errant beast, now caged, will serve her true purpose. A sacrificial animal. Oh, speaking of sacrifice, I forgot to tell you. After you crashed the Eclipse network, I sent messengers into the east to rally the forces there and mount an invasion of the sacred land. I ordered every Nora killed. I was hoping to catch you there, but alas, it all seems to have been unnecessary.
Why butcher dozens of innocents for no gain? It's a waste of effort.
You're right. I won't even be there to enjoy it. In any case, I couldn't recall the order even if I wished to. Thanks to your destruction of the network, communication over distances is impossible. You not only doomed yourself, but an entire tribe. Do we not see the scorching judgment of the sun in these events? Your focus, such a powerful device, isn't it? And yet, so fragile. So you see, this time, I did not hesitate. The knife has already been twisted.
Karja faithful, rejoice! Our years in shadow are over. A new dawn trembles on the horizon. A new day soon to break. And when it does, the false Sun King will be dead, and Holy Meridian ours once more. In this, I have become an instrument of prophecy. All halves of nature join to one cause. Shadow to sun, light to dark, night to day. Behold! Hold your seats! Can you not see the proof of the sun's blessing before your eyes? How else could shadows such as these prowl in broad light of day? Were they not approved by the sun and joined to our cause? Many years ago, to consecrate this great ring, the Radiant Turan ordered many faithless, crushed beneath the hooves of the behemoth. Mighty is the behemoth in the eye of the sun, But it is mightier still, infused with the power of shadow. Let this one, who schemed and slithered, be the first to die! Let her be the first of thousands!
I'll never beat that thing without weapons. My weapons are up on the platform. There's no way out of this ring. Maybe I could use its strength against it. That pillar's weak. Another hit, and that pillar will come down. I should try luring the behemoth into the pillars.
That's what I'm trying to do.
It's down. On the sides of its head. They've got something to do with these lift attacks. That canister on its belly looks important.
There we go. Now I got it.
Freeze canister on its head. Cryo image should set it off. leave it to them! Come get me yourself! So you're here. Really here. You risked your life.
Of course I did. If you'd been killed, the Nora's sacred mountain would never have given up its secrets.
Too bad you wasted your time, then. Helis destroyed my focus. And the Alpha Registry with it.
Not at all. The whole time I've been monitoring your focus, I've duplicated every data file you scanned. Installing that data to a new focus was trivially easy. Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man.
You're really good at making it impossible to like you, Silence. But I guess I need this.
It's time to see where you were born. Maybe you'll even learn why.
Yeah. Meet the machine that birthed me into this world. Isn't that how you put it?
I'll be off.
Wait.
Yes?
How did you track my location when I wasn't wearing a focus?
Really, Aloy? It doesn't take a genius to surmise that Helis would throw you into the sun ring at high noon. I wore out 2 striders getting here in time, but I did. Now be on your way.
Since when can you override machines?
Ever since you discovered the technique. I had to destroy a corruptor to obtain the necessary parts, of course. But your example showed me how to do that as well. Yet another benefit of monitoring your activities through your focus. Truth be told, the underlying logic of the technique isn't so different from rites practiced by Banuk shamans. Though, of course, far more advanced.
Great. You're welcome, I guess. Helis recognized you back in the Sun Ring. You told me that you'd assisted the Eclipse. Not that you knew the man who killed who almost killed me.
So now you know. The man is a serious threat. So let's do all we can to make sure that he and Hades don't succeed.
Right. I'll be on my way. To make matters worse, Helis ordered an Eclipse detachment to attack the Nora Sacred Land. The tribe's already weak. They won't stand a chance. You should come with me.
Well, absolutely not. I have preparations to make elsewhere.
What kind of... Why do I bother asking? You're not gonna tell me.
When the time is right, I'll be in touch. I'll contact you later. In the meantime, should you need to return to Shadow Karja territory, I brought armor to conceal your identity.
You think of everything, don't you?
One of us has to. Aloy, when you were recovering the Alpha Registry down in the Zero Dawn bunker, I was needlessly cruel. For your sake, I hope there is someone waiting there for you inside the mountain. Not a what, but a who. Yeah!
Whew. So yeah. That was a lot. definitely a lot to take in. And given the time, I think I'm probably gonna call it a night for this. No, it's probably getting late. Well, obviously it's getting late on your end too, but definitely some good stuff. That'd be awesome if I could do that. I would get so much done.
That dust storm looks like it could strip a machine.
But yeah. Until next time. Have a good night, and good luck tomorrow.